Nope. Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy F6. It is Bearded Wolverine, Pinzo, and we got a new guest today, Dirk. Windu cannot be here with us just right now. He's going to be here a little bit later on, but this is the PREDCAST, and we have some exciting news today, guys. Are you guys excited?
I am super excited.
Oh yeah.
So, very excited. So on that note, let's act. Why is it not switching to me? It doesn't like to switch to me. It says, screw you, you're not going to be big face.
Is it just whoever's loudest or what?
No, it's whoever's speaking, and I'm speaking, and it's saying you're not talking. So we're going to switch to this instead. We're going to go with this, and we'll go for there. All right. So on that note, yes, we got our names already, but let's say a little bit about ourselves real quick. Let's go with Dirk, and then Pinzo, then F6, then myself, and then we'll jump right into what we got going on with our first person to get Paragon. So, Dirk, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what you've been gaming.
Yeah, so my name's Jake. I've been gaming for quite a bit of time now. Played Paragon back in the day for about a year on PS4 until, we got the unfortunate news. I was a big Murdoch and Greystone fan. It was pretty fun. Yeah, I've been playing Pred ever since it came to PS4, and I've been loving it ever since.
Okay.
So, figured I'd hop on here. I'm not really a content creator, but I just wanted to come in, say what's up, maybe give some words on what I was thinking.
There you go. So you've been playing. You're playing PS4. You upgraded to a PS5 then?
Yeah. So they got the news that it was shutting down. I was like, you know what? I've been putting it off for years now. I've been playing Pred all this time. I was like, you know what? Might as well.
Okay. And your PS4 account is working on PS5, right?
Yeah.
It was the smoothest transition. Yeah, smooth.
It's all good.
All right. I mean, obviously, if anybody were going to transition from PS4 to PC, that they would have to create a new account. Then whenever they get an account linking, they would have to be able to account link then and get all their old stuff they had. But anyways, okay. Nice.
Yep, never had to deal with any of the PC to PS5 stuff, so that's good.
There you go. Pinzo.
Yeah, I'm Pinzo. I stream Predecessor a lot, and I upload a lot of Predecessor videos. I play the game a lot, and then I come on to PREDCAST, and we talk about it.
He said wee.
Wee.
All right. Happy to have you here as well, Pinzo. F6.
Pinzo cracks me up every time, man.
What do you want me to say, man? Like,
it is the normal. I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm F6. I don't stream as much or upload as much YouTube videos, but you can definitely catch me streaming. I do variety most of the time, but am back into Pred. Took a little break, doing some rank grinding, trying to catch up to the rest of you guys. And then good luck.
It gets rough out there, bro. Just wait.
Oh no, don't tell me that, dude. But yeah, I do some PCC stuff. I cast over there. Work on social media stuff for them. Kind of like community manager over there. That's also fun. And then, yeah, I'm just always around in the Pred community, and doing PREDCAST is also a joy. So we're here whenever we get a chance and we have some news.
All right. How did this last PCC go there, F6? I wasn't able to partake, like watching as a viewer this week, this season, you want to call it?
Yeah, no, it was good. I think we're like pretty much 90% of the way there, like structure wise. So I felt like the players are happy, viewers are happy. Then obviously, Choice, the broadcaster, he introduced a bunch of cool new stuff. Everything kind of went smooth. Nothing really too out of the norm. So I was thinking it went pretty well.
How is the because you guys are still using the replay system, correct? For the games, is that getting better? Is that still the same? Like how are those issues?
It's still the same as like the very first time. It's just
was that Foreigner feels like the first time?
Hey man, all I know is that we had a game get reset after First Blood. Okay, that's all.
Don't start people up on this, Pinzo.
That's true. It's a game we were going to slaughter that game. Our Muriel Offlane got First Blood. Okay,
Muriel Offlane got First Blood. Oh damn!
It would have been easy, smooth sailing.
Honestly, nothing could have went wrong. You guys would have just won off that First Blood. True.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it would snowball from there.
I put it in the feedback system. No worries.
There you go.
But the replay mode still needs a lot of work. It's still kind of like in beta, essentially, in my opinion. So I'm just kind of waiting on them to rework it. Then yeah, we'll see how it goes. But other than that, I mean, it's still pretty nice.
Clorox.
Features are missing from it that would make it more easier for you guys to live stream and watch and be able to get different angles and stuff like that.
That would have to be with our observers because I know nothing about it. I just know what they complain about, and I just send it off to see if somebody can answer my feedback or not. But
gotcha.
All right. Clorox does say maybe PCC gets a real spectator mode when 2.0 hits. So
yeah, 2.0, baby. We're waiting.
Yeah. which obviously does not mean it's the next one after this 1.0. For those who don't know, we can go 1.10. We can do 1.100 for all we know. So we'll see how it goes.
Exactly.
All right. As for myself, what's going on, everybody? Is I, the Beautiful Wolverine, your Michigan Wonder, excited to be here. This is episode 67. We're almost to 70 episodes. If Ometa stops taking breaks and puts out more content, we'll get to 70 real quick. Just kidding, guys. I hope you all enjoyed your 5-week break or what there was of it and stuff like that. But I saw we got a post here today with giving us some information of what's going on, and we're going to get into that. But before then, I'm limited with what I can show here, so we're just going to keep it here, but we're going to talk about it. They did announce that they have expanded ranked for now it's 7 days a week, right? The last time we talked to you, I believe it was only 5 days a week. So we got Tuesday and Monday added. Those are the same time frames for the NA crowd. It is from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. And Saturday and Sunday are from noon to midnight, right? If I'm correct with that. Yeah. So Saturday, Sunday, noon to midnight. So Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, noon to Sunday. So noon to midnight. So it's great to that. We're finally got it 7 days a week. We're still waiting on that 24/7 situation. We'll see how they keep adding time to it. I don't know if it's going to be now Friday. It's going to be noon to midnight, and then
there's no way that we don't get 24/7 with 1.0.
You sure?
Yes.
It would be a very I know sometimes we argue about it's a good move or a bad move, but I think this one is just undoubtedly the worst possible.
It's a no-brainer.
Move. Yeah, you have
the
to have
only move.
Yeah. I could see him not doing it. I could definitely see him not doing it.
I can't. Listen, Ometa's made some real dumb decisions. I don't think they're that dumb.
I could see him not doing it. I could see him. The data's not there. We gotta wait for Xbox. Once we'll go into it a little bit here. But in the 1.0 blog, we found out there the 1.0 is to help get more Xbox players, and the Xbox players apparently from the data they have, Xbox players they play and they stay playing. Right, they're not like Steam players that they'll pick the game up and then they'll leave and not come back for a little bit, or they might come back later, or when the next content drops or whatever. Xbox players are playing and stay playing, the majority of them, anyways. So we need it, but we don't have the full Xbox pool because it's the only way to find it is in a play test section or whatever. You can go find it to download the game. If you're not looking for it, you can't find it. So with the more players, that's when they're going to be able to open up the queues. Right now, they're having rough queues as it is. So just going to 1.0 does not, to me, says we can't open 24/7 because the queues are rough as it is. It doesn't matter if you're talking about standard queued or if you're. What are they rough for then? Why are people sitting there for long queue times?
Well, I don't know, man. I sat in a 40-minute queue this morning because I'm top 50. Who's it gonna match make me with?
Anybody that's available.
So I think
the 10 people who were available were in a game.
The 10 people.
I sat through it. I know. I sat through their game. As soon as their game ended, my queue popped.
Okay.
That's how it goes. That's a bummer, bro. It is what it is.
So then again,
to fix it is they just need to change casual queues to be just less restrictive in totality. And then if they have ranked open longer, it just is what it is. I don't think it really affects anything because I don't really have that much problems with queues. Even when I'm playing in the morning, I think my queues are still the same of 20 to 30 minutes.
That's insane. I don't even get close to that.
Minutes are brutal.
I don't even get close to that. I'm hitting like 5 minutes, but I'm only playing at peak times.
There's a million people in
right,
bronze.
and that's what I'm saying. Those million people that we have, so it's not player base side. It's not the size of the player base. That's not the issue we're having here. There's other things that are going on. So opening up to 24/7 isn't going to make those million people in bronze all of a sudden be top 50 for you. Ain't going to be the 10 people that you're waiting for.
I'm not complaining. You're the one that brought it up.
I'm saying it's not. They're not, but they haven't opened it yet. If that's the issue, if you're already sitting at a 40-minute queue and they haven't opened it yet, why would they open it just because it's 1.0?
What happens at GM, Bearded? It's in every game.
Why would they open up 24/7 then? If you're already having issues with it, why would they do it?
Any top 500 Overwatch streamer.
I'm not talking Overwatch. This is a Predcast stream. I don't care about Overwatch. Okay. But I'm saying, why would they open it if they haven't opened it yet? Why? Why at 1.0 would they open it? Why?
They would open it for 24/7 because they need to showcase a full game. So if they don't go to 24/7, it'll be a huge impact on the overall view of the game. Yes, there's going to be people waiting in the top end for longer queues, but this, like you said, it's not a player-based thing. It's more of
There's nothing you can do about that. Every game, once you hit the top.
And why haven't they opened it already? If there's nothing you can do about it, why has it not been opened already?
That is going to have to be a question for Old Maiden.
That's what I'm saying. And they always reference back to they're collecting data. The data still is being collected. I don't see how just opening it to 1.0 is all of a sudden, hey, 24/7.
Because 1.0 is different. So like right now we're still
in a game, not a full game with no ranked. Like
it has ranked. Just because it's not 24/7 doesn't mean it doesn't have ranked. It's still ranked. It's right. It does have it. It's there.
Not really.
What do you mean not really? It's there.
What if I live in Hawaii?
Then you live in Hawaii.
I'm trying to play ranked, and the ranked queues are from fucking 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and I can't play.
What if you work midnight shifts? What if you work midnight shifts and you work and then you live in NA East? It doesn't matter. You don't have ranked. That argument means nothing. It does. That still argument still sits here. No, but it still sits here, not in 1.0. Like, and they haven't opened it yet. Why would all of a sudden 1.0 just has to be bam? We have to have 24/7. I'm saying it doesn't have to be there. They can easily collect their data points as they're bringing in more people. All right, we get more data, we get more people. We can slowly fill out these queues and not have an issue, not have standard drop off so hard, not have rank drop off so hard, or vice versa, whatever. You can slowly open it up just the way they've been doing it because that's how they wanted to do this, and I can see them doing it even more. Anyways. Before we keep going down that road,
the slow open was like leading up to full ranked in 1.0. Like this wasn't a decision that was made in the last week, right? Like they've definitely known.
Well, I don't. I do think that 1.0 was more of a let's just do it because it was announced to us that it was version 2.0 or version 0.20. Like that was the announcement. That was what was going to come out in August, and then all of a sudden it just changed from a version. Then hey, 1.0. Like I don't think it was like, hey, this next patch is going to be 1.0. I think it was a change of decisions. Like, hey, we can make things happen with Xbox and getting them opened up even more. Like, let's make this decision. Let's do it now. I don't think it was, hey, we already had this plan for forever.
How long has Xbox been open now? Is it about
since March?
Is that what it is? March? Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
That data that they've collected on player retention for Xbox, since it's not really being marketed, is I'm assuming that the people that are playing on Xbox are just like diehard fans of Paragon or people that were interested in it before.
Right.
So like that's why the retention is higher. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's a complete spur of the moment choice. All right. So Choice Play says, no way, they have plans. If it really was that spur of the moment, that would be bad publicity, I'm thinking he means. They've got their internal schedules for, and I do believe there was some things that were going up to it. I think they got some data that changed that. But like it was already showed, like it was posted, like, hey, this is what we're gonna get, and like with the announcement that we all thought it was gonna be Yin because of the legacy. Like it was like, hey, our next legacy hero is coming in a version 0.20 or 0.200, whatever. That was in the announcement, right? That was like, here we go, we're doing this, and then all of a sudden everything changed to, hey, we're actually gonna go to 1.0. We had the Steel Twitter post where he's walking and he's looking at a campfire and he clenches his fist because he doesn't like campfires. Like, I don't know what Steel has against campfires, but there was a change, right? Something happened to where it's like, hey, now I'm not saying that they weren't close to a 1.0, but I'm just saying there's something was changing, and I don't think everything just means like this is where we're at. But in the meantime, so yeah, again, we'll get more into that as we talk more about the blog post. But before then, we extended ranked, and then we got to see who the first ever person to make it to Paragon, which is Jay. Does anybody know Jay? Because I'm a bronzer, as Pinzo said. I don't know who Jay is. So I don't know who Jay is at all.
He's a PCC player.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nice.
He hit it Sunday evening.
Now, nothing against Jay, is anybody surprised that Jay was the one to hit it? Did somebody think, hey, like it was going to be, who's that one ADC that's really good? Cold?
I always see him at the top of Ometa.
Is it Cold or Neft? Okay.
Neft and Cold were both, I have the top 1,000 pulled up. Cold is 100 VP below Jay. Cold is like 100 VP out of Paragon, and Cold has half the games played of Jay.
Oh.
I think Jay
same with Kier. Kier also has half the games played of Jay, and Kier is 50 VP out of Paragon.
Nice. All right, so we're gonna have a good group up there.
There are people who would probably have hit it faster had they had more time to play. Jay has 250 games played.
Yeah. Okay.
So
nice. All right. Well,
he's a good player.
No, congrats to Jay.
Surprised me that he did it.
I don't know him, and I said I just didn't, because I didn't recognize the name. I do know, I have heard of Cold, I have heard of Neft, I have heard of Kier. So again, this is not me hating on this guy. Congrats to him. That's awesome that he made it. I was just like, when I saw the name, I'm like, I don't even know who that is. So I'm like,
he plays PCC. He has for a long time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. So great to see it. It's obviously it's achievable, so we got there. So awesome on him. Let's go to the next one, which I believe was again, I think it was that video of Steel walking, clenching his fist at a fire. We got lightning bugs. With this video, it's very dark out. We got fires and we got lightning bugs. What's that mean, F6? Tell me what that means.
Hey, I already put it on the feedback show, and I was like, you could have put some more in this like teaser trailer. There's got to be a little bit more, or at least paint a better picture, because I don't see anything. I would be reaching to say like they're going to be doing like a night cycle, right? Like that's like me like being like off the wall, but like it really doesn't tell you anything. You're like, oh, Steel's at the campfire. Like, are we going camping? Like, I don't. And it doesn't say anything either, but
for me, it's like if I was someone who didn't know like what Paragon was, like what kind of game does that little teaser like look like? I just have no idea. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks nice, but I was just like, why?
Yeah. I agree with you. It looks good, but it explains nothing of what Predecessor is. And if you're an existing gamer, like you're an existing Predecessor gamer, you look at that and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a new map. That's a night map. Like there's going to be little fire things around instead of waterfalls. We're going to have little fire spots. Like, oh my gosh, like what's this map going to look like? And that's what you get people thinking. And it's like, and then you're going to get to it and you get to the blog post and there's nothing even talked about a new map.
Yeah, I think they should make Fangtooth number 1. When it gets taken, the lights go out. It becomes nighttime, and then Fangtooth number 2 gives you a flashlight.
If you don't
have second Fang, you have to run around in the dark.
Run around in the dark.
Like a game mode because if you add that
Lethal Company Predecessor, oh my god, I'm onto something.
Well, hide and seek game mode.
Yeah, I do think though they should have at least gave a better image of what the game was. Like maybe like an overview of the map, know, kind of like, oh, that looks like a MOBA map, right? Like, okay, there's 3 seconds of this MOBA map. Like, what is this game? But like for that, I really don't know. It could be literally any type of game coming out, and it's just somebody's arm and a campfire.
Or also
possibly be like a small snippet of what they're going to show at Gamescom, or Do you guys have any ideas on
It very well could be.
That's a good idea. Actually.
Very well could be, and I hope it is, because at least then the teaser we got at least gives us something, like when we see the Gamescom video, like, oh, that's what it was doing, that's what we were leading to, got it. That would make sense, and hopefully that's what ties it together. I would also, I like what F6 was saying, show the map more. Oh, if this is the teaser we're getting, the 16-second clip of looking at what we're looking at is a steel, like, at least give us a skin that nobody's seen before, of just that somebody's hand. You haven't seen this skin before, depending on what hand you're using, you could probably tell that it's a steel, but it's like, you've never seen that skin. Like, what skin is that? Oh my gosh.
Why
like
is that a pink steel? Like,
right. Yeah.
Pink steel.
Right. Something like that. Like, or, or just something like, or if, I don't think he's not one of them, but like one of the, Gideon, what's the undertow skins? The undertow skins. Like, if there was a steel undertow skin, like all these barnacles on his hand and he squeezes it, like that would be really cool. Like, oh my gosh, what is this? And it'd be something new, like something like that to get the existing player base excited would have been better, I think. Because even if it's, again, that same video, you're just going, they're mad at a campfire and they're looking at it, like all that stuff. Just give me a different skin. Give me something different. That we haven't seen yet, would have been a great teaser there as well.
Well, surely with the undertow skins coming, they're going to drop something to do with them. I mean, they spent a lot.
I hope so.
On them. They were released. I mean, they were teased like 6 months ago. I think with that being their biggest skin thing that they've done so far, like surely they'll do some marketing around that.
No, I think that's definitely going to be.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some stuff there.
Like, access point, but the fact that they were trying to appease to, and I see a comment from Doing Series saying like steel is like the epitome of a paragon, right?
That's Sabers.
Yes. Or Saber, sorry. They're both green on my end, so I look really quick. But at the same time, you can still show steel's hand with a different color, is what we're saying. Like, you want to, yes, appease to the older community that haven't really been drawn to the game as much, but you also want, if you're just going to appease for the community that's already here, because nobody's going to understand what kind of game this is from that teaser. But with this, you would be able to at least hype up the people that have been here, like, oh snap, we're about to get a new skin coming, right? Like, you know the undertow skin line's coming, but if it looks different, you're like, what else is coming to the game?
My argument against what Saber said there is, I think it's for first time, disagree steals iconic Paragon. For the Paragon people, if you're not here already, then you don't care that much about this game, and so we need to expand this fishnet and get other players involved, right? So the player base that's already currently here playing, they mean more to me than the minimal Paragon players that decided they weren't even going to try Predecessor yet, and it's already been how long we've been here? 2 years. 2 years. Like, if they haven't come and tried it yet, like, I'm not waiting for the 1.0 teaser to be like, hey, this is what's going to draw them in. Like, I'm sorry, if you haven't come knocking, I don't care. I'm going to find new people, and the people that have been here, I want to give them stuff to be excited about, and then new people that are talking about it. That's where I'm at. It's time to move on 2 years later. All right. So now time for me to read and go over this. Okay. Greetings, champions. Following last weekend's announcement, the Predecessor is soon hitting 1.0. We wanted to openly discuss expectations surrounding this milestone's release, providing you with insights into why we've made this decision, our vision for it, and what you can expect in this major update. Expectations surrounding 1.0. We understand that the term 1.0 is turbocharged with all manner of expectations. It suggests that the game is complete, like with a full rank mode, or that there will be a fundamental shift in development away from adding major new features. We want to confirm that this will not be the case for Predecessor. We see Predecessor as a constant evolution, as most live service games, and we are extremely excited to use this update as a baseline for all things coming to Predecessor in the future. Make no mistake, the upcoming update is the most significant in Predecessor's history for the amount of features, improvements, and content included. We believe it aligns with our goals for 1.0 and beyond. Why 1.0? Why now? We've heard your concern about our readiness to launch into 1.0 as previously announced. Frankly speaking, after 1.0, our game won't be feature complete like ranked mode. Defining feature complete is a task of its own with a MOBA, as it differs for each player and everyone will have a different list. So instead, let's talk about why we made this decision. It's important we share the reasoning behind it because we're keen to continue developing alongside the community and want every one of you to be on board with our goals so you can support us in our efforts along the way and understand the vision we have for this milestone. Firstly, 1.0 is a necessity to launch Predecessor fully on Xbox Store and move outside of the limited game preview tab where it currently resides. This step is crucial in Predecessor's growth as it allows us to get the game into the hands of far more players due to the increased exposure it is afforded to the games outside of the Xbox Game Preview program. Predecessor is doing extremely well on Xbox platform, with new players getting stuck in and people playing more matches than other platforms. Given these strong results, we want to ensure Predecessor gets the discoverability the game deserves. This is an important step in that journey. Secondly, a 1.0 launch will bring in new players. We have a healthy, engaged player base at the moment. But our goal is to inject the player base with a flood of new players so we can properly validate and continue to iterate larger systems like rank mode. This will allow us to collect valuable data, make adjustments, and have confidence in the long-term growth of these systems. Is Predecessor ready for new players? We'll look at this in the following section. Thirdly, we know that Predecessor players have been waiting for a large marketing advertising campaign. After all, growing the game benefits everyone, reducing queue times, improving matchmaking, and building fiercer competition than ever before. After months of validating various marketing strategies, A/B testing, and receiving feedback, we believe we're ready to go wider. Tying this release into Gamescom in August allows the perfect opportunity to kick off our largest marketing effort yet, pushing the exposure and visibility of Predecessor to as wide as an audience as possible. We'll talk a little more about that, about our marketing efforts further on. All right, so before we go any further, what are our thoughts about those 3 points of why 1.0 and why now? Dirk?
I mean, it didn't really answer much for me. Like, I didn't really understand why right now would be the best time. But I do think that with them slowly rolling out ranked, it's been a success in my experience so far. It's kept me on the game. It's kept me engaged. It's kept me wanting to keep playing it every day. So, I mean, if it's enough to do that, then maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm sure they know a lot more than what they're actually letting off as far as that's concerned.
All right. Pinzo?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think their reasoning makes sense. If they think it's ready, if they think this is the next best option, like if this is the next step, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They've done some weird things in the past, but like I think from a
that's
marketing standpoint,
for
like,
sure.
Like most of my stuff is from like, I don't know, gameplay. But for this, it's like, I don't know, dude. This is outside of my realm.
Right.
If this is what they think is the play, then fucking send it.
F6?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I left a feedback post about this. But yeah, I mean, if they think as a business that they're ready to take this next step, nobody here other than the actual business, like the team themselves, know if they're at that point to expand, right? So we're not talking about features that we want and everything else in the game, right? Because we're consumers and we're like, hey, we have stuff that we want in the game and then things that we want fixed, yada, yada, yada. But on the aspect of like, are you guys ready to push out? Like, what are the numbers saying? You guys have the numbers. You guys know what you guys are able to do. Nobody's going to be able to tell them better than the actual team themselves to know when they're able to push. So if they say they're ready, if they said their data speaks to them that they're ready to go, sure, why not? I mean, it's either going to go one way or the other every time you make a decision like this. And I know from experience from owning two businesses, it's either going to go well or it's going to fail. But at the same time, that's always going to happen. And You just got to make sure you make the right decision. And if they think it's the right decision, then one, who the hell am I to be like, no, you're not ready for 1.0? Like, I don't know your stats. I don't know your numbers. I don't know what's going on in the background. I just know that there's certain features that I want if you're going to go to 1.0. And that's what this next 2 weeks is, right? Is for them to unveil everything that they're going to be pushing for 1.0, what their future is going to look like within the next coming months before the end of the year. So if they have a plan set for everything that we need, why not?
Okay. So with me, and I'm going to tie this in with what Jelly was saying, because he kind of counters what I'm going to say here. So I'll say what I want to say, then I'll go with what Jelly said in chat here. I'm excited to see what they said about Xbox. Like that console is keeping their player base there. They're sticking with the game and not just playing and then backing off. Like that data is interesting to me. And that the fact that they're limited to when they're able to open Xbox to be available, actually put it in the store, because right now it's not in the store, it's in their game preview thing, whatever. Like I said, you got to know where to look to find that. It's not something that people are just find it, huh?
I mean, the same thing for PlayStation, right?
No, it's on PlayStation. You can go to the store and find it. You can just literally type it up. I think if you go to Xbox Store or whatever and you type in Predecessor, you're not going to find it. You got to go to the game preview thing or whatever. Like it's not in the store. So this is
Search it up.
you can search. You have to know where to look for you to find it. You're not just going to go into the store and go to the search bar and type it in and you're going to find it that way. You got to know where you're looking, I guess, is the way it was explained to me. So opening this up to a wider player base is going to be great there. Advertising is marketing. That is going to be great to see as well. Getting it exposed to players that aren't, again, everybody's watching these Smite 2 videos and how Smite 2 is getting excited, all the excitement. Predecessor hasn't dropped any videos like that. So the fact that it's going to be for release and they're going to start doing videos like that, that's going to be cool to see. A little action packed, going into the stuff like that. I'm excited to see that. But as for what Jelly said, Jelly said, my concerns with Xbox part of that is that it's hidden on the store page, which means most people finding it are only doing so because they know about it already. It doesn't mean that full release 1.0 will bring in the same mentality and quality of player. And that's 100% understandable with what Jelly's saying. I get what he's saying, because again, the people who are going and looking for it, they're the ones that are like, hey, I know it's available on PS5. I got to find it on Xbox. Somebody said it was available. I'm going to look for it. Right. It's not the people that are just like, oh, look, a free game. I'll download this. And oh, I love it. I'm sticking with it. It's not that. So
yeah.
Smite 2 is also isn't going to be the only competition. Well, sure, but I mean the other game that you're referring to with your name is also has no announcements at all either. So we'll see when that happens.
I mean,
game preview is still place people look for games to play. It's just not everyone. Sergeant Smokey in chat. What's up, Smokey? How we doing, buddy? So
that's for the deadline gamer. If you think a game's never going to have competition, you're wildly mistaken. There's always going to be somebody.
That obviously was referencing that name was
every Predecessor chat and sucks
he?
off Deadlock, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because Deadlock is a game. It's another MOBA coming out, but again, it's literally.
Every time I tell him that Deadlock sucks, he just throws a fit.
Okay, no worries. Well, then for Jelly Knees, answering back to that, you do bring up a great point. Like they won't be the same hardcore players. But at the same time, one of the things that like in business that I like to refer to is planting the seed, being able to plant a seed into like somebody's mind to be able to be like, hey, this game exists is still a huge aspect to it. Yes, there's probably not going to be able to get the same mentality and quality of players, but what you will get is another player that knows about the game. And if you're able to expand and plant as many seeds as possible, the better chance that you have to have a big force going on at the end of the day. Maybe not within a near future, but also probably a little bit later on, like maybe like a month or two. They're like, you know what? Smite 2 wasn't for me. I remember this game, Predecessor. Let me go to that, right? So it's not necessarily all about, yeah, we want to like make sure we have hardcore players, but being able to spread the information to be able to get different potential people to be inside your player base, right? So I think it's a great move on that aspect. And I think if they need to open up, I think that's definitely good and not as worrisome. because I don't think they're necessarily doing it because they're like, oh yeah, we're going to get a bunch of new Xbox players that are going to be as hard, right?
Right. Fiora-san, sorry if I said the name wrong, but worst thing is that they are far more concerned about getting new players than caring about who is already playing. Who is already playing Watts. Most of last announcements are things for new players. This is just an announcement. This isn't the patch, right? And they say in this announcement that there's more things to come, right? So there are things to keep us held over. But yeah, this is there's a lot of stuff. But I think for this game as well. We need the new players to thrive and have retention for us to have enjoyment of queue times and stuff like that. Like, so I'm okay with this announcement being that way. So
yeah.
All right, let's move on then.
But
Go ahead. And
Bear's going to get into it, but there's a specific section for the player base that's already been here. And I think they kind of hit the nail on the head with at least the initial response of what for the players that are already here that we've been complaining about.
Gotcha. All right. So, what can we expect from 1.0? One of our core goals for 1.0 is to improve the experience for new players joining the game. There are a number of reasons for this, but importantly, we feel that by better preparing these new players and teaching them the core skills they need to succeed in Predecessor will be helping tackle feedback many players have expressed around toxicity, matchmaking, and new player insipidity. Sorry if I said that word wrong. Given this influx of new players, an important question is raised, is the game ready for them? The updates we've made to new user journey in 1.0 should allow us to put our best foot forward. One of the key pain points we identified in the current iteration of Predecessor was a struggle among new players in understanding the various strategic elements of the game. Which role should I choose? Which hero best matches my playstyle? Which lane should I fight for? What ability is best for me to level up first? The list goes on. Some of these are challenges that players face in all MOBAs, and some of them are challenges unique to Predecessor. We identified many of these key issues and have introduced solutions to them in 1.0. That's not to say there isn't more work to be done here, but we believe these changes will make a massive improvement to a new player's early experience and should make the game more enjoyable for all players as a result. And I think that's the big thing for the existing players. If we get the new players able to learn and understand the game, then that bottom half, the majority of the player base in the bronze area, is going to have more enjoyable games. Them having more enjoyable games will then allow them to get better at the game, which then will, again, it's just going to keep climbing. And then finally, Pinzo, 3 years later, will have enjoyable games.
2.5.
That still isn't how it works.
I know, it was a joke.
They didn't mention anything about touching on the tutorial mode, have they, in this?
That part,
a few complaints on Reddit about how it was bare bones. I haven't done it myself, but that was one of the complaints that I saw quite a bit.
It is very bare bones.
I mean, they kind of touched on it, like that's what they're focusing on, right? Like how to help the newer players. So I mean, I think it's more than just a tutorial mode that they're looking at from their message here. Like, hey, yes, you can play tutorial, but also there's other aspects. Like most people don't play tutorial. So what other ways can we help with new players skipping the tutorial, right? Because most people just go to tutorial or skip it in general. So how can they help with like their in-game menu, which we'll go into next year, to the next section.
Yep.
I don't know if Peter's going to be able to put it on screen, but I think that would help.
No, I'm not going to be able to.
Oh, gotcha.
I would love to, but I'm not able to.
If you're following, you should be able to see like some of the pictures that they put up. And I think a lot of the things that they put in is very minuscule when it comes to like people that have been here forever. But an aspect of like a new player coming on in, seeing something like this, I think it's a good move. It's not like a huge update, but it's still a good move.
Yeah, it's a lot better than nothing, for sure.
So what exactly are we doing for new players? Below are just some of the features we've included in 1.0 to address our new user journey, additions of or improvements specifically tailored to helping our new players find their feet. Draft screen redesign. We understand how daunting it can be for new players to get to the draft screen, only to be presented with a number of options and decisions that might not be immediately clear, especially for those new to MOBAs. To tackle this, we've made it easier to pick a hero using recommendations based on the team composition and the player's skill level. Made it clear that Phil and Jungle are much more challenging roles for new players, and made information like what each hero does and how they play easier to find than ever before. How they play easier to find ever before. Sorry. So yeah, the draft screen. I know I can't show it. Or the role select screen, the select role. So I like how it's showing it over the map where you're at, you know, and then also it shows you like, hey, gold buff, like this is where you're going to the gold buff side. It shows you that, so then you know when you're on the other side of the map, you got to go towards gold buff. So you look up the mini map, there it is. So I like how they show that. I think hard to tell because there's chat there. I don't know what this is, what's going on here, but I see that the Phil is locked and the jungle's locked. I don't know what that means. And then I also see that the support has a thumbs up, green thumbs up, and offlane's got a green thumbs up. Is that just because that's beginner friendly? Those are the beginner friendly roles? Is that what those ones are?
Yeah.
That's what the thumb is for, yeah.
Okay. That's what I was guessing, but I didn't know for sure, so.
Yeah, I think this is not necessarily showing you like you picked something already. Like, I still think you have the option of like people trying to pick the same role, but it's kind of just showing you like, hey, these are good roles through green thumbs up. It's something that you can see very easily. The lock section is like, wait, do I really want to click on this kind of role? Or maybe somebody picked it already. So you might want to pick something else instead of trying to lock in that role. Maybe try and push people away from fighting for a role, I guess would be my thinking of it.
Yeah.
But obviously we have to see it more, but it kind of just looks like a satellite map right over the map, which is cool. You get to see everything, kind of how the map's going to work. And then I think it's also cool, like the kind of little tidbits that they give you on the bottom of like, hey, you're in the carry role, getting the kills on the minions, gain gold by getting the gold buff. You're extremely powerful but fragile. I think that's really important to understand, like, hey, I do a lot of damage, but you gotta also be careful. And then it's like a big red or like a red marker saying like, let your towers and your support protect you. Because I feel like a lot of ADCs don't do that. So I mean, even though it's something that's like the player has to take their time to look at to be able to understand a little bit, it's still something else to add to like, hey, you should look out for this and this should be your play style.
I think it's pretty cool that they said to tackle this, we've made it easier to pick a hero using recommendations based on your team composition and the skill level. I think it's pretty dope that they're going to say like, hey, you know, your support is in Narbash, so we think that you should go Drongo or Sparrow. Or, you know, I'm not the best when it comes to synergy with all these heroes, but you know, the fact that they're recommending synergy and telling these new players like, hey, this is probably your best bet, I think it's definitely going to help out the people who aren't very knowledgeable on what these different heroes do.
Yeah, especially if you get like a Decker support with a, you know, let's say a Murdoch carry, and then you get a, I don't know, a Morgash mid, and you get a Countess jungle. Okay, right there, you got a squishy team. I'm hoping that in the suggestions they're telling you to take some kind of tank. You know, like, all right, we need somebody, we need a big guy. You know, we need to be a tank in this offlane, you know, a Terra or a Greystone or something. You know, we need tank in this because right now your team is squishy and there's no really good front line. So, but yeah, I do agree with that. I'm happy to see that they're doing that because I think there's even some existing players that could use some information like that. Terra, big guy confirmed. You got it, H2O. Improved automations. Once in the game, we know how important it is that a new player understands what is happening to their hero. Sure, auto buy takes the pressure off of having to understand some of the more complex decisions straight out the gate, but we know how confusing it can be to not know what's happening to your gold. To not know which ability to upgrade first, or to generally feel detached from the important decisions being made on your behalf. All of this and more is why we've added Auto Crest and Auto Level, as well as new visual showcases for all player automations to make the decisions being taken on the player's behalf more understandable for newcomers. All right. Auto level, I understand. What I don't know if I want, like, I would much rather be able to just like have, like, again, this is later on. This is for new players. I get that, right? But what I want for overall, for the existing player as well, is I want you to be able to create your build. Like, all right, this is my level order that I want, and this is the build I want. Like, that's something so I think auto level, again, for new players, I think it's great, the auto level. But what about the auto crest? What do you guys think about that? Like, because right now you build the warrior crest. You have 3 options after that. Is it just gonna pick one, or do you you don't get to? So you have no choice on the one you get to pick. Are you gonna be able
I'm guessing if you have it on, it just picks it for you. I mean, if you're using auto buy, it does the same thing.
And is it just going to be a default crest, or is it going to be like the best option based off the enemy team comp?
I mean, it gives you every time you level that you choose your crest in game, it recommends.
Yeah.
Whatever one comes up first is what it recommends. So like especially when you're playing carry, it'll recommend either cleanse or dash most of the time. Like if you're playing against a team with a lot of crowd control, it'll recommend cleanse every time. It'll pop it up first.
See, I didn't know it had I didn't know it changed. I knew the list popped up, obviously. But I didn't know which one. I didn't know the recommendation was hey, we actually recommend this one over. I thought it was just, here's your 3 lists, you cycle between them. I thought it was like that. I didn't know it'd like, all right, hey, based on your enemy team comp, you actually need this one more. I didn't know.
Probably just choose the most basic one so that it gives you the same one every time.
Gotcha.
If you're using like auto buy, it's especially for something like an active item, it's best that it gives you the same one every time.
Gotcha.
So like for carry, it'll probably just give you cleanse every game. Like mid, it'll give you stasis every game, that kind of thing.
Okay. So
would be my guess.
That would be pretty cool if they had a system for auto buy where it took into account the other team's composition. Because right now it is just the same build every time, right?
To the best of my knowledge, yeah.
I'm pretty sure is the same
auto
build.
buy.
Yeah, auto buy it just grabs off the 3 recommended, I guess, and I think it grabs off the middle of the 3 recommended.
Well, they update the build periodically to like help with the meta. But I mean, I'm also not a fan of auto buy. I think it's something that you should only use within like your first like 50 hours of the game anyways. I think it comes a little bit more in depth. That's why I do like the make your own build thing. But I think for this though, I think they're just really showcasing like how it's a little bit easier to understand what you're buying because of all pop-ups on the left-hand side. And then like what abilities you're leveling.
Mm-hmm. Starter Smokey says leveling abilities is new, but auto buy and crest already existed to some degree. We now have more information about what's being done during those auto actions. Awesome. Thanks for the information there, Smokey. All right. All right. The next
I do want to point out the kill feed though. They definitely upgraded the kill feed just by looking at
way better.
It looks 10 times better. And I'm hoping it the middle screen won't update as fast, but if the left-hand side does to know like who died, I think that's also going to
that little mark in between them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like that. I do for sure. Okay, but the next one, attack range indicator upgrade. We've all been there, especially as new players. You're chasing down an enemy hero, desperately trying to secure the kill. They're so low. You fire an ability. My gosh, sorry guys. Confident you can take them down, and you miss. One of the biggest hurdles in a MOBA like Predecessor is learning about attack range, which is crucial information in the heat of the moment. So we've made it clear with bold outlines and text that tells you if you're missing or just out of range. All right, then you scroll down in the video, it shows you he's shooting at this Richter, and it says out of range, out of range, out of range, and then it eventually says move closer. But it doesn't tell you if you're missing. I guess it just says, but that's
my guess would be that you only get the out of range thing if your crosshair is like on target.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're missing when the crosshair's not on top, yeah, but yeah. So yeah, all right. I mean, I do like the fact that it's the text is bigger, it's bolder. You can see it, like, hey, out of range, move closer. It's telling you like this is you're too far back, right? So I do like that change. I was just like, I noticed like it didn't say that it tells me if I'm missing. Like nothing says I'm missing. You missed. You know, I need a Trump, you know, come up and says you missed. Just kidding. No politics here. So there's plenty more. Go ahead.
I do like this says move closer,
Yes.
but I also don't like the sorry, I like the out of range, but I don't like the move closer because I feel like that's gonna proc people into putting themselves into worse positions. I think out of range would be just fine, but telling somebody at the bottom, yeah, that too. I hope I can turn it off. But to tell somebody to move closer, it sounds good on paper, but in theory, somebody's going to look at that and be like, oh, they want me to move closer, especially like a newer player. They're going to put themselves out of position. So I think out of range should just be the only text because that's really all you need to know is like, hey, you're out of range, right? That's like sends the message. But to tell somebody to move closer,
I mean, doesn't out of range already tell you to move closer?
Yeah, but it's not like a directive to put yourself out of position. Telling somebody they're out of range means, hey, you're doing something and you're out of range for it. Somebody's seeing somebody blinking, move closer. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna be like, oh, they want me to move closer and run straight at the enemy. I know what's coming.
All right. Another thing to think about, though.
You can disable it.
You can disable it? That's good to hear.
Yeah.
All right. So, again,
disable one or the other, or is it both that get disabled?
I think it's both. I think it's just one system. So
yeah, that's right.
We also, again, this is something like, again, we do want to have the ability to disable it. I completely agree with you guys there. But this is also a new player thing. So gladly, like what Sergeant Smokey said, this is, we can remove it. So that's good. People who need move closer are not concerned about positioning. Love it. Love it. All right. There's plenty more. On top of what we've already shared here, 1.0 includes many more improvements and additions for new players. We'll be sharing more throughout the weeks as we lead up to our big launch. So keep an eye on our socials for more information. Okay. What can existing players expect? We've spoken a lot about new players and our various goals for 1.0, but what about existing players? We've heard your feedback and wanting more options to spend Amber, along with functional updates to the map to allow more traversal over the hard-to-reach places. These updates will allow for much more verticality in higher-level competitive play and promote skill expression that we've never seen before. Purchasing Hero Affinity and bundles with Amber. Got Amber to burn? You can finally use it to purchase Hero Affinities, but that's not all. We've also added a couple of bundles to the store that you can also spend Amber on. Additionally, we'll continue to expand the ways in which Amber can be utilized after 1.0, such as adding support for individual cosmetic purchases for sprays and the like once the store is ready to support non-bundled cosmetic items. All right, before we get even further than that, we'll talk about Amber here. One
W.
Huge W. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to say this in an aggressive manner, and don't take it too aggressively, but it's about fucking time. Right? We've been waiting for this Amber to be able to use this Amber or a token system for the Affinity system. So that's what we first talked about was token. Then token got taken away. Now we're using Amber. And now here we go. We finally have it. Holy cow. It's about time. So I'm stoked and I'm excited about it. Thank you. My concern is the fact that we're going to expand on it more after 1.0. Please don't let it take as long as it took the first initial situation of what we finally now get to use Amber here. Let's get that store going. Whatever we got to do to make it to where it's not just bundles and we're able to do more with it. Please, let's go for more. Please. That's all I'm saying. But I'm very stoked. I'm excited about it. Thank you. It's there. Dirk, how much Amber do you have?
I was just about to say, I was about to ask you guys. I got 149,000, and I did the math earlier. If you look at this picture, it's got 7,700 as the affinity. I'm not sure if that's based on your level or if that's just flat out, but thankfully I can buy the rest of my affinities with what I have right now. With
There you go.
A little bit left over.
A little bit left over.
So
Look at that. You get all affinities.
someone who likes to grind all the heroes, like I don't really have a main, like that's perfect for me. Couldn't ask for anything better, really.
Yeah. No, it's great. Great.
Yeah.
Pinso, how much amber do you got? How many affinities can you get now?
I have almost 300,000.
There you go.
I have only purchased one affinity track to this point.
Yeah. See, look at all the emotes you're gonna unlock now.
I do have a lot of heroes that I'll buy them just for the emotes.
You're gonna be emoting all across your maps now.
Oh, I will.
Yep. You're gonna be emoting fool.
Wait,
So-
did they take out the walking emote?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Did they fix that? No.
I don't know.
They did fix that. They did fix
Okay.
that.
I thought
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did. That's kind of depressing. They should bring that back.
Yeah. Now that we're able to get the emotes,
You could auto run, and then if you did your emote, you would slide while doing your
Yeah.
emote.
Yeah.
It was so good.
They need to bring that back, but
That needs.
I
to
understand
come
why they. I understand why they took it out.
back. Nah, they need to come back. I need to be able to quang like
Gangnam style. Yeah.
the entire way. I'm on a rotation.
I'm on the way, boys. Just keep me on my way.
Rotating to Fang too. There you go. So F6, how much do you got, Amber?
I'm at 160K. but that's
160K?
around, like 3 weeks.
I think
But-
I'm at like 175, somewhere around there. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
But
I think
hey,
it's an absolute W all around though. I did not expect them to actually say you can buy certain bundles
Yes.
with them.
thank
That
you.
is something that I did not expect. I thought they were just going to introduce Amber for Affinity, but the fact that they're going to be able to use it by cosmetics, I feel like now I'm not saying it's okay. Just hear me out. I'm not saying it's okay for their pricings for their skins. What I'm saying is it gives players another avenue to acquire some
Yes.
skins without actually having to spend money, which is a
Right.
good thing.
And that's a W. That's a complete W. Like I've never been like I think Windu, like he says he's like a whale, right? Like he's a guy that he has to have all the skins type things. That's the correct term, right? I don't want to be utilized. Right. That's okay. So I was like, as soon as somebody's like, that's not what that's called. You just called him fat. Like that's not what I meant. And he just did in chat. Anyways, that was perfect timing. Anyways, so but I mean, like he's like that. But I'm a guy that I obviously I don't want to do default skins all the time. But I want to put on a skin here and there. But like there's some heroes like I don't play them that much, so it's not worth me to put money into. But like if I were to I have all this amber, like hey, I can get a skin this way for that guy. That's where I want to be. Like I want to. So that's great.
I'm guessing it's going to be primarily not skins. I wouldn't be surprised if you could maybe get recolors, but my guess would be profile banners, icons, maybe sprays is really all you're going to be able to get with this.
I think it's gonna be tier 1 skins, like the
I think you
500,
will. Yes, I think.
Recolor skins.
Yes, I think some of those smaller recolors you'll be able to get with it. That's what I'm thinking. Like, again, I'm not saying you're going to get like
tier 5 skin.
you're not going to be able to get the undertow skins with it. You know, like you spend all 300K, you'll get one of these undertow skins. I don't think it's going to be that. You know, I think it's going to be again like it's going to be a small recolor with a spray maybe or something. You know, it's a bundle of some sort, right? So you get a skin, spray, this, whatever. So.
And how much amber would y'all expect that to be? Because about
100,000 based on current pricing.
How much?
100,000.
100,000?
Probably like 50K, I would bet. Because what is it, 500? So if we're gonna assume the price of what is it called, platinum, is 7,700 amber equivalent, right? From what we saw in the picture. So
Yep.
probably be roughly around like 50,000 at most for a bundle. But I feel like it would probably at most be like 10, 20,000 amber for like one of those tier 1 skins and maybe
My
a
guess
spray.
for a recolor, my real guess would be 10,600, right? That's how much it is to buy a hero. That would be my guess.
Yeah, somewhere around there. But like I said, yes, it's not like a tier 2 or tier 3 skin, but at the same time, like it's still a good move to help people acquire skins so they're not bored of just the regular skins that they get in the game.
Exactly.
And now you can also get like your affinity crown to go with like your affinity skin. So I mean, you got to take your W's where you get them. I don't know why you would expect them to give you a tier 5 skin coming out of 1.0.
Hell yeah,
So
500 amber, tier 5 skin.
Right? Like, yeah. Let's be realistic and be like, okay, this is a good step towards what we're trying to achieve.
Yep. All right, next up, map verticality adjustments. We've raised the roof for 1.0. Literally, we've taken the time to remove all vertical boundaries across the map, opening up complex new opportunities for certain heroes to play like never before. And then they show in this video, they show Aurora hitting her ice wall and then climbing up to the top of this wall. That it's now a wall there because there was a canopy that covered over top of that. So now you're able to get through there, and you're ganking right there at tier 1 of your team's tier 1, right by the 3 camp of the jungle. So another ganking spot, which, as a jungler, that I play a lot of jungle now, I think that's great, but I don't play junglers that have verticality capabilities like this, so that means nothing to me. As a laner, I don't like this because the game to me already has a warding and visual issue. So like I don't like the fact that now are giving more. Like, I hate mid lane because that's the one lane that you can get ganked on from 80 different spots. Like, and then like, so solo lane and duo lane, duo lane, you got somebody there to protect you. Solo lane, I only have one ward and I got to put it somewhere. I got to save my other ward for when that one goes on cooldown. Right. So then, and I have like 4 different spots I can get ganked from and I have to be watched out for. Like, now you're giving me even more spots that I have to pay attention to. There's not visuals and warding need to be fixed in this game, especially if we're opening the map up like this. That's something that needs to get taken care of, in my opinion. Thoughts on that, guys?
I disagree. One, you're using your mobility and your verticality to get to that point. So a lot of your kit is down to be able to get that gank off. And I feel like it's going to be, like they said in there, it's like more for like a competitive style play. And I think this brings a lot to the competitive scene, being like involved with PCC. So I do actually like this change. I feel like it's going to create a lot of different plays. I don't see this being a huge problem for the casual queue. I could see a lot of people messing this up. We already blink into walls anyways, even good players. So I don't see it being too bad, but I do like the fact that they're expanding on it and the idea around it. Hopefully this will help with like map changes going forward.
If you look at the video they provided, it looks like Aurora didn't quite clear the wall. I'm not sure if she needed to use her jump, but that's just what it looked like on first watch.
She did use her double jump, yeah. She used her passive jump.
Yeah, that happens a lot though. Like you double press space for some reason and then you double jump. I feel like she could just bunny hop and get over it, but she just double space fat barred it. So
yeah, I think you're right.
But I do think it's gonna take a lot more testing to get used to.
Yeah, I think this looks pretty crazy. I don't think it will be that wild. Like, I think it'll be super situational. Because like if you're Aurora and you're ice walling to get over that, like now you don't have your wall, and like her wall is part of the reason that her gank is so good. Like, yeah, a surprise gank like that, I guess, is maybe it makes up for the fact that your wall is down, but it's just a lot. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be super situational. But I do like that other lanes can now get ganked from anywhere, because mid lane can get ganked from 20 bajillion different places, and I'm glad that other lanes have to deal with that now.
Yep.
I also find it funny that this is 3 minutes in, she's got her full kit unlocked, and her cooldowns never go on, never get started. In this video,
Aurora clear is broken, man.
Her passive goes on cooldown.
Yeah, that's it. Her passive goes on cooldown. The wall still there. So, okay, yes, I think it's situational with what heroes are available in that situation, what can be done here. Everybody, it's not a secret. I hate Kalari. right? You get her out of the game,
Yeah.
you know, but then this just gives her even more escapability as it is. Like the hero, you know, comes in, does all the damage, and it just escapes. Like this is like she doesn't need any more. Like this is another issue I believe with this game. And then what's your counter for her? Oh, warding. Well, again, I go back to my other issue of I have to place more wards now, but I don't have more wards to place. Like there's a vision in this game is lacking and needs to get taken care of. But I still think like yes, you use an ability to get over the wall here, but I also think more times than not, you know, especially early on, not getting used to this, not being able to ward these areas, like that doesn't mean anything. When you surprise somebody come over to off the top ropes like that, like it's, you know, you're gonna get a kill almost guaranteed. Your wall is, yeah, especially Aurora. I think her damage abilities are still available, and she can still, you know, do some damage. Especially if her team
Blink clearing that.
Fang Mao's blink, I would say so.
Most likely Gideon Portal.
Yeah, I was trying to think
I
about
don't
what
think
heroes
so.
I could apply to, and I could only really think of like Gideon and Feng Mao.
It depends on how thick the wall is. Because like both of those are line of sight, right? Like Aurora, she obviously starts her wall from super far away and it goes up like this. But with the portal abilities, like they don't have the same
You have
they don't have
momentum.
that kind of reach.
If you're doing momentum, you can get over it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Maybe I feel like those are going to be harder to do than something like Aurora or Kalari.
Yeah. I'm trying to like, if you visualize like Gideon Portal from the bottom of the pit over to the wall, if you're leaving the pit, it's kind of like the same distance. So I'm assuming with momentum you can.
Yeah, but you have, just because the wall is a little further away from you when the dip comes in the Fang pit wall, I think it gives you a more favorable angle.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd be curious to see if you can blink over that wall, right? Because that's essentially what Gideon Portal Feng Mao Dash is, right? Can you blink over that? I'd be really interesting. I'd be really interested to see.
Didn't know we're on the episode of Friday.
For real? Glad you got it.
So, all right. There's more. This blog post would be an awful lot longer if we went in depth with everything coming. So instead, here's a quick fire list of everything else arriving in 1.0 that we've not already mentioned. A new legacy hero, tutorial improvements and voiceover for communication pings, total rework of map foliage, visual lighting and reflection improvements, better assist indication, new loading screens, new post-match screens, new post-match player reporting options, system messages in chat, bounties, objectives, timers, etc., Twitch drops, code redemption, Xbox achievements, localization on Xbox. With all of the above features confirmed for 1.0, we're also excited to confirm that even more features are coming throughout the rest of this year too, specifically targeting the topics we know you care about, such as matchmaking, game balance, toxicity, and more. We'll showcase more of these 1.0 features over the coming weeks, so keep an eye on our socials for more. All right, and we'll get into marketing here in a second. But out of this list, my question is, what code redemption? What are we redeeming codes for?
So if you go down and you read a little bit more in the next section, it talks about with like the Twitch drops and stuff like that. Adding the ability to redeem codes in game, enabling giveaways, competitions, and partnerships.
Okay.
I feel like that has to do with content creator program and like different stuff, like maybe like the tournaments or something that go on. I think
it just makes it easy. So like if you want to do, every 5 subs, you're going to give away 400 plat or whatever. You can just get a 400 plat code and send it to whoever wins. It's going to be way easier.
Okay.
Because now there's no way to do that. You'd have to like Venmo or PayPal somebody $5 so they can go buy it, right? And it's really awkward. But now it's going to be.
Well, that would be. That makes it a lot harder than what you're talking about. I mean, the way we've done it before, like we had Twitch drops on Fault, is you would just get the person's username, the in-game name, and whatever email they have, and then you give that to the devs, and then the devs can put it on their account, and then when next time they log in, they have 500 platinum. So that would be,
Yeah,
you know,
honestly,
without code, but code redemption. All right, that's what I'm saying. I've never done it that way, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm saying it wouldn't be as I wouldn't have to get a, you know, Venmo somebody money for it.
Well, no, I mean, if I wanted to run my own giveaway on my channel, like that's not Pred's problem. Like they might help me out if I said, "Hey, can you put 500 plat on this dude's account?" But then it's like, who do I pay for the plat? Do I Venmo fucking Ace?
Do I
Like,
Venmo?
All
right.
Like, what do you?
All right,
you want
I
me to do?
wasn't.
Like, a
I
code
definitely
is super
wasn't
easy.
thinking individuals. But okay, I get what you're saying. No, I was
Twitch drops are going to be different. Twitch drops, you're going to have to link your predecessor account or your Steam account or whatever
Right.
to your Twitch account, and then it'll just go straight on. There,
Gotcha.
Those will be super easy.
so Smokey.
New chatting system.
Smokey said-
distribute
Yep.
codes.
Hit it 6.
I was gonna let Dirk finish. But he says we can do contests, community events, streamer giveaways, and whatever else. It's basically a redeemable code in game, which I just wanted to highlight. Just like it just opens a lot for what Predecessor can do, or Meta, I guess, can do to help out like with the community and stuff like that. Like, hey, we're giving away plat for you to buy some of those skins, right? Especially with the Undertow skin line coming. Getting some free plat to help you get a skin that you want, I think it'll be huge. So the fact that they're implementing that right away, it's pretty nice.
What were we saying, Dirk?
I was
Menu?
talking about how like for the code redemption, it'd be cool to have this in like menu chat system if you're going to send out codes and stuff, so you didn't have to rely on like for you guys when you're streaming like through the Twitch and stuff like that. Like just be able to send it directly on the menu.
Makes it
I was thinking
super
more of
easy.
like if you like sending to friends or like if you wanted to gift a scan or something like that, you could do it that way.
Okay.
It's looking a little bit in the future, I guess.
All right. Other one that I'm excited for: visual lighting and reflection improvements. I want this game to look better. I'm not saying it looks bad. That's not what I'm saying. But I want, like, I feel like this game has looked the same for a long time, and I want to just see improvements. I want to see it. It's like I want to load into like, oh my gosh, look at this now. Like I want to see that change. Like we've been here for 2 years, and it's just like I feel like I've been playing the same game for almost that whole time. And I know that PS4 was kind of holding us back in that situation. And I, sorry for those, pour one out for the PS4 guys that aren't able to, get to a new console yet. But luckily Dirk was able. He's one of them that was able to upgrade. But like, that holding it, you're not able to get things upgraded graphically and stuff like that. Like now we can do that, and I'm hoping that this visual lighting and reflection improvements is going to help with that. I want to be able to, even on my 2070 Super, I want to be able to get a decent amount of FPS and have it look great.
Yeah,
Excited for that.
I'm more excited about the Twitch drops because
You don't even stream.
yeah, I do. What do you mean?
Your intro says, I don't stream that much, but you can find me there occasionally. That's what your intro said.
I don't stream Pred that much. That's what I should have said. I was taking a break. Can I not take a break?
You can. I'm just saying, why is that the one thing you're excited about if you're taking a break?
No break from Pred. No break from Pred. But the reason why, not only that we get to like help our community get stuff, but Kari did say, was it August 20th, right?
Yeah.
Is when, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly.
It's when 1.0 drops.
Yeah, when 1.0 drops, there's going to be Twitch drops available on that day. So I'm excited. But it also factors into account linking, right? It's like one of their first steps into account linking, right? We're starting to see that train start to move. I'm really excited to see how far it is behind with the Twitch drops to be able to link your account.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I agree. All right. Besides the ones we've already talked about, Dirk, what are your what is something in this list that you were like, hey, that's what I'm looking for?
The map foliage, I think that's pretty dope because I got a new monitor along with my PS5. So transitioning from an old 10-year-old BenQ and a dusty PS4 to what I have right now, it's not as nice as a nice PC, but it looks beautiful now. So I think that'll be cool. I'm kind of curious about their wording here. They have Xbox achievements right here instead of like / PlayStation trophies. I'm a big trophy hunter, or I used to be. So, as soon as those drop for Sony and the PlayStation, I'm going to be all on that. I'm going to be going for plat as soon as it's there.
That's true. Yeah, they don't have PlayStation on there. I wonder why they don't, because they don't have trophies yet, right? Anybody?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Maybe that's
that's
just like a PlayStation thing, like
No. But I feel like there's something, if I'm not mistaken, I read something that said for a full game you have to have trophies. So I'm assuming that they're going to drop with the Xbox, and maybe they just forgot to mention it.
I do remember that being a thing as well, actually.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Pinzo, what are you excited for on this list that we haven't talked about already?
I think you guys are hitting it. Like, I mean, the whole list is just like Twitch drops are number one, obviously. I mean, it's just a huge boon to anybody streaming. Like, Twitch drops are always going to get you more viewers. That's just kind of how it works. So, big for me. If you get cool shit, it's big for you, right? Like,
I agree with you. I do agree with you. I do think the one that F6 is afraid of the most, though, is the new post-match player reporting options, because now he'll get reporting for all the feeding that he does that people forgot to do in game. Like, he'll get a lot more reports on him than he's used to. He's not looking forward to that.
hey, I've improved. Okay, I stopped typing in chat, so that's one big improvement.
That's
okay?
a huge improvement.
I just want to throw it out there. Okay.
He stopped typing in chat because he's chat banned, but
No, I've never been chat banned. Okay.
yeah.
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 All right, I do have a question for you guys. Help me figure out what this might be. Better assist indication.
Just guessing something pops up when you get an assist now. Like, I don't
Okay.
know. You've never known if you've gotten an assist before unless you
You had to know what your assists were before that happened, and then you saw there was an increase to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But they said it earlier where like in chat now you're gonna be able to see the logs of like, you know,
Things that happen.
killing F6 gave you
Wow.
500 gold and 200 XP or whatever, right? That's gonna come up now. I'm guessing you'll get the same thing for assists. Getting an assist
really cool.
on F6 kill gave
my
you 25
goodness.
gold and 10 XP or whatever, right?
Smokey confirmed it. It gives you visual credit for assists. Awesome.
That'd be cool for items like Astral Catalyst, where you need an elimination, but you know it's both assist and kills.
Yep.
So
Takedowns.
if you don't get the kill, you don't really know if you got the.
Well, it's stuff like Ordis as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it would be really nice.
Yes.
An all-around improvement. Something else though, the post-match screen and loading screens. I think even though it's like I said, it's very minuscule update. But just to be able to just to see what they're going to be able to come up with, because I know the post-match we want a little bit more information on like certain things. Everybody's different, obviously, but the loading screens I think needed a big overhaul. I mean, the only thing they changed recently was the borders, but other than that, I think it could be visually more appeasing.
Okay. Smokey also says more info on some of these will come out in the form of social posts, so you'll likely get a peek before it launches. Great to hear. Thank you, Smokey. Yeah, no, I'm excited about those as well. F6. The other one, I know we kind of touched on it a little quickly though, is the system messages in chat. So knowing when somebody's blink is down, like, yeah, and having that timer in chat. Like I play with somebody, I play with a guy named Distressed, and he's somebody that he types it in chat. Like he like mid game just boom, you know, somebody whoever person blink, and then you know at that timer, right? So then we kind of keep track of that timer, so that like, and that's good. But I mean, I think that's how competitive gamers do it. But like just having it there already, so that you can continue to focus on the game and not have to, you know, stop and type. That's why I'm not like F6. I'm not toxic like he is. I just don't type in chat because I don't like to type in chat. So I don't like to like stop what I'm doing and actually type. So it's very seldom do you ever see me type at somebody.
I'm not sure if it's going to be for enemy though. I think it might be like friendlies to like know that. But one of the big things is the objective timers. It's a huge step in the right direction, but I do want it to be a little bit more like League, to where it's like a little notification off to the side, like maybe above the items, like hey, Fangtooth, like little Fangtooth icon, and then whenever it's like up within a minute, it like pops out, and you're like, okay, Fangtooth in a minute, right? Kind of like a little bit more visual than having to look at your chat. That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the idea of having objective timers specifically just given to you. Like, I don't know. I don't like, because like in Overprime they had this, and I know I didn't like it there, where it would at 60 seconds it would have a countdown to Fangtooth of when it spawns or whatever it was called in that game. I literally don't know. Right?
Yeah.
60 seconds it counts down. And I don't know. I don't like that. I like that you need to know when it spawns, when you need to group, right? That kind of thing. Personally,
I mean, you technically already have a timer, right?
yeah, but it's not a
timer.
countdown. I mean, you know.
Smokey says we had it before it was removed.
It was removed.
Yep, we had it before, but it was removed.
Why do you do this?
That'll be a lot of help for newer players that don't know the timing and.
Yeah, but in my opinion, it's part of the skill cap on the game. Like I think it's one of those little things that once you like figure it out, it's not difficult. But if you're someone who doesn't know what they're doing, right, you don't really understand. I don't know. I think that I don't like the timers personally.
I'm like in the middle here. I'm Switzerland.
Yeah,
is it
same.
Switzerland?
I see your point,
or is it?
But at the same time, I'm like, I think it's just overly or more positive than it is negative. If that makes sense. Because yes, the timer is there, but if you don't even look at the timer in the first place,
Yeah.
like you can still outplay other people. But yeah, but at least if you're not going to add it in game, put it on the replay mode. So whenever I'm casting in PCC, I don't have to like look at the thing and be like, wait, is it actually up? Or oh wait,
well, okay, maybe the solution here is to make the little circle visible if there's a ward on the objective.
Yeah. Maybe that's the solution. Make it like on the map and able to read the actual circle. You know?
Yeah. If I ward the objective like I'm supposed to, I should also be able to see the timer. Any thoughts?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah. Smokey says Pinzo has one of those crank timers for baking on his desk, and it rings whenever Fang is gonna spawn.
Bro, Fang goes down. 5 minutes.
Yeah. I can see that.
That's
if we have PCC land, we will see Pinto with a little cooking timer.
Is that considered like external hardware?
I'm sure.
That's hilarious.
Slide.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's move on here. That list is great. I'm excited to see what all is going to go on with the socials, like what Sergeant Smokey was saying, to kind of give you a little more in-depth what's happening with that. But then also I'm excited to see these patch notes when they drop as well, to see what all is going on. But we still got more to talk about. Marketing Predecessor. As already mentioned, our largest marketing campaign to date is launching alongside 1.0. More players means better queue times, a more vibrant and lively community, and of course, more competition. So what's the current plan to attack these players? We are releasing a trailer at Gamescom during opening night live, partnering with Discord for an exclusive Quest event, marketing across each platform store, adding the ability to redeem codes in-game, enabling giveaways, competitions, and partnerships, working with top influencers across the internet to build coverage of Predecessor like never before, launching Twitch drops, rewarding players for supporting their favorite streamers, and so much more. Thoughts, anybody?
I'm stoked for the Discord event because back when Argus was getting teased and we had those puzzles and stuff,
Right?
like the whole community was there sitting just on one objective, not fussing and arguing about stuff. There's everyone just trying to figure it out, you know?
Yep.
Well, that's not quite what this means.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A Discord quest. It's like this weird thing that's added to Discord fairly recently. Basically, it's like you can accept a Discord quest, and it basically I don't know exactly what they are, but it's like open the game and like play a game or something like that.
Yeah.
And it gives you something on Discord or something like that. I don't know all of it, but it's like a weird thing. I mean, it's a Discord thing. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they could also put there like, hey, join this Predecessor server, which will be huge as well because you're creating more people towards where a lot of your information is being dropped. I mean, it might be good. I think it's good overall.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Completely agree. Smokey asks, he wants a blog feedback request. So he's asking everybody here. So everybody in chat, you can reply, and then us four here, we can reply. Do you prefer the comprehensive list we shared on all topics, or do you guys rather we keep things vague until we launch? Dirk, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I like it being comprehensive. I'm not really a big fan of it just being vague, and I mean, I'm a fan of it being detailed, and I think they did a good job with this one.
Yeah.
F6, you were going to say?
Vague is ridiculous.
I think this is vague enough, right? Like, we don't have exact details, but, you know, I'm sure we'll get more, like Smokey said earlier, right? We'll probably get some more, like, videos and stuff like that as, like, on Twitter or whatever as we get closer. I think this is good.
Right. It doesn't need to be like what you guys know, right? It just needs to be enough to where, like, we're included in it, to where, like, we're not guessing too much, right? The guessing part is there, like, it's always going to be there. Like, we don't know 100%.
Well, yeah. For example, like right here, like this list, these two lists that they drop in this, right? You easily could just be like, easily just be like, all right, this is what we got for new players. We got this here. We'll show you some stuff here for existing players, and there's more, and that's it. But the fact that you said, and there's more, here's a list, because this blog would be too long, and it gives you that list. Now, there's no details to this list. There's no, describing what this is, why you're, adding this, like the code redemption, right? I asked, luckily, Smokey was here to explain it. Well, these guys also here understood what the code redemption was, but I would have to read into the patch notes even further what's going on. So it's still slightly vague, but it's a good vague. It's not like, completely like, hey, we have no clue what more is. So I think this is great. This style is the way to do it.
Nobody can complain that you guys aren't open in communication if you guys are explaining stuff like this. And obviously, there's also a second point where Crashy said you also want to do it before certain things. So, like, this should have came, I agreed, with the 1.0, right? Like, hey, we're going to 1.0. Here's this Pred report. That would have been 10 times better.
Yeah. Drop that teaser. Drop that teaser and then drop the blog with it. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying there's also that. There's also the information you're dropping and also the timing of your events, of how you're dropping your information.
Sure. Okay. MD's cooking.
What do you say?
Summit Pinzo, the predecessor redemption arc would go crazy.
Invite Summit Pinzo. Send him a DM, dude.
I think he would turn off his stream.
Why? Because you'd own him that bad?
No, I don't think he wants to play the game. Bro played it for like 8 minutes and was fed up, man. Like, he's not coming back.
No, he played it more. He said he didn't.
Played it for like an hour and a half. He was fed up after about 8 minutes.
Yeah, but he said it's not that he doesn't like the game. It says for him, it's hard for him to get into the game how he's playing, because he's also playing Smite. So he's going through 2 different MOBAs. So I feel like that's a huge problem.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just not built that way.
He's not built for the MOBA community. That's all.
It's just, maybe he's not built to be a gamer. Who knows?
He's not built to be.
Past his prime.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold up now. Whoa, buddy.
Summit 1G.
Sorry, what rank were you?
Yeah. Okay. I'm still built to be a gamer. Come play me in college football. Come play me in college football. I'll show you what prime is.
College football, what? Is that the one where that one team, you just pick the one team and you just click spin move?
No, I mean, you can do that, but I haven't done that.
Know about it.
Sure. Yeah. That's all you would know about it, because you're not a gamer. You wouldn't know more.
Because it's like, just keep pressing spin.
I heard that's the strat, bro. It's all over my Twitter timeline. Just click spin move.
Come watch my stream. You got plenty of time. You stream in the daytime. I stream at nighttime. Come hang out. You'll see that I don't do that, and I still win. Come hang out. You'll see. All right.
I'm going to do it and win.
Okay, sure. All right. Conclusion. We hope that this discussion has helped bridge the understanding on the why of 1.0 and what we at Ometa have as a vision for this milestone. What you can be a part of and what you can expect in Predecessor starting August 20th. Be inviting to our new champions. Help them find a new home in Predecessor and join us for this exciting new chapter in Predecessor's future. Robbie Singh, CEO. Now, I'm going to get a little negative here, only slightly, just because I'm a little worried.
Oh, Lord.
Multiple times on here and multiple times in other posts, they have announced August 20th is the date. Please tell me that this patch is already ready and that they're just on vacation still. And when we get back, they're going to be able to drop the patch, and there's not going to be, oh, wait, this isn't ready. We're going to have to postpone this. Or wait, we're going to push it. The patch is coming the 20th, but this that we told you was coming with it, yeah, that's going to get pushed.
Vacation was fake.
The vacation.
For the last
They ain't going no damn vacation.
Whatever. I don't care.
Ace
Tell
took a
Ace
long yacht trip. And
the rest of the guys are still. Hey, and
like, I'm leaving. The rest of you guys get to work 24/7.
You got this.
I'm leaving August 20th, baby.
I'm only saying this because the sad part is they have a history of taking things of like, hey, this is what we have coming, and then pushing that. Right. And
they have a choice this time, though. Like, Gamescom is such a big event to go at.
And that's
like, if they fuck it up, I mean, game's over. Right. Like,
and that's what I'm worried about. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be that negative Nancy, but I got to, the writing's on the wall. It's there. It was, if this wasn't already a repeat offense issue type thing, then I wouldn't have said anything. But because this has been done multiple times before, season 1, season 2, season 3, like it's done over multiple times by the same team. Like, this is where I'm like, hey, this is like, I just don't want to see this again. Normally we get to, hey, mid-August, right? If it says mid-August, then it doesn't mean the 20th. It could drop on the 27th, right? Which would still be late August technically, but like whatever. It could be dropped on the 22nd. It could be pushed 2 days, whatever. Like things could happen. But the fact that they dropped a date that kind of locks them in, and I hope something doesn't happen to where they like, hey guys, we got to do this, which happens in the gaming community. I understand that, but like when you start getting repeat offenses, then it's like this starts to become like, oh my gosh, can they actually handle this? And I want them to succeed. I'm bringing it up because I don't want that to be an issue, and I want them to go farther.
I think they will have it ready.
Yeah, something of this magnitude, they have to.
It's not because they have to. I think it's something that they made a decision to go 1.0, right? So that means they're like, okay, can we push all this stuff out? Are we ready for this move? Like we talked with Ace previously, they have a lot of content that they've been waiting to push out, right? So I feel like they've been working on this for a really long time, just haven't implemented it yet and working through it. And I think they're like, okay, what can we push? And that's what we'll announce. So I think anything that they announce, they'll be able to do. But I don't think they'll announce anything that they're trying to do. And that's why I'm okay with, and I could see them being ready with 1.0. Because why don't they just tell us like, hey, why would you put a feature in that you think you expect it to be there? And if you're not confident about it being able to be implemented,
Yeah. Don't know.
Everybody knows I'm a little bit for Ameda, just a little bit. But I'm very confident in this. You bootlegger. I'm confident.
Just a little bit for a meta. Just
Bulky confirmed it. It's built already. Everything in the blog is built already.
Yeah, again, it's like this is a pretty big one, dog. They ain't messing it up. All right?
To mess this up.
Well, to answer your question, Smokey, was the last time that you guys put out a roadmap for a season. Like season 3, there was stuff on season 3 that got pushed. Season 2 stuff got pushed. That's why I referenced season 1, season 2, season 3. Those seasons, those things, there's things on those seasons that got pushed. Those things got delayed. So
yeah, I don't think they give us hard dates anymore. I don't remember the last time they really gave us a hard date.
So right, and that's what I'm saying. This time they gave us a hard date, and this is where I'm like, okay, hold up, like we haven't had a hard date in a while, and now they gave us one.
I get
Tell me, like, please tell me that this is ready, and so we came out and said it's already done. Like, that's great. That's what I wanted to hear. I'm happy to hear it. That's what I'm excited about. Again, it's not me. I'm not trying to dog on the devs or whatever. I just don't want them to keep making the same mistake. I don't want them. I want them to succeed. I want them to do better. I want them, and this is something we had before, and I don't want that to continue. I don't want. Repetition, it can be an evil thing. You don't want to repeat some of those things. You want to, get out of that repetition. So that's where I was getting at.
Yeah, which is understandable. But yeah, like I was saying, I just don't think they'll announce anything for everybody that wasn't here. Like, I don't think they'll announce anything that they're not ready to push. Is my fingers crossed. Like, they don't announce something that they can't push yet. So,
right. So.
I think it's a W blog post. Like I said, we still have 2 weeks of information that they're going to be putting out. So one of the things we're waiting on is the roadmap, right?
Did they say there's a roadmap?
A while ago, like a month ago, they said there's supposed to be a roadmap in the second half of the year.
Okay.
Yeah, they did say they're going to be talking roadmap with us here.
Blog posts. I was like, did I miss that, dog? That's
no.
It was a while ago that they said they're going to do a roadmap with the second half of the year. It wasn't a blog post, if I remember correctly. They said we do have a roadmap coming in for the second half of the year. So we'll see. Hopefully the roadmap hits.
Frost.
Well, the question is, who's the next hero? Because it's got to be Wukong, right? There's no way you go 1.0 and the hero's not Wukong.
On the day that Wukong, the other game, drops?
I'm just saying, bro. That's big. That'd be big.
Nah, they won't allow Wukong, man. They hate me.
1.0.
They hate me.
Here's the big Wukong guy. Everyone's so scared of this guy. Look at our cool redesign of Wukong. There you go. Boom.
Yeah, I think they hate Wukong too much to even allow him to be.
I don't think they hate Wukong. Like they have developers like Demande on the squad that just love Wukong, to the fact that he knows every little thing about Wukong, and the fact that he wants to make sure that he is a good Wukong, like, hey, and legit to the Wukong lore, like, so there's got to be a complete rebuild of him, and that's what's taking so long with Wukong. Like, you literally got to rebuild him from the floor up.
Yeah, but we haven't heard anything. Like, when did we have Demande on here? Like 8 months ago.
I mean, it was before PlayStation dropped.
He could. That's a while ago. He's coming. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
I mean, he's definitely coming. He's one of the last 4. I just think Yin is the next one.
Nah, he's coming.
Yeah?
He's coming this past.
Yep, I think Yin is the next one.
For Boris, I think he'll be fun.
Boris
play Overprime. He dropped in Overprime, or was that Fault?
Fault.
Both.
Was he in Overprime? When did he get to Overprime?
Yeah.
He was in Overprime.
I don't remember him being in Overprime.
I think he was right before
like
Terra.
One of the last 2 or something, right?
Yeah.
He was before Terra, I think.
Gotcha.
He was
wildly different in both games, so I'm curious what Pred does.
Yep.
Because Boris is essentially an original hero, right? Like, the visual design is set, but like the rest, like the hero kit, they can do whatever
they never really announced his kit, like what he was supposed to have.
Exactly.
They just announced him as a hero and what he was. He was a mechanical bear, pretty much. So that's all they have of him.
Whatever they want with his kit.
Yep.
If they make him to a physical support, GG's.
So
he's a bear, bro. What do you want him to do?
I don't know.
Yeah, what?
Support me. Yeah. Why can't he be a support? Because he's a bear? Yeah,
like Donkey Kong cargo carry you or what?
He picks you up, he grabs you and pulls you like Kefri and carries you back. And then his ultimate is he suplexes you and you get stunned for like 2 seconds. I don't know.
He should barely spend time in duo lane.
Okay. Yeah, you're reported, buddy. Just know you're reported for that joke.
Yeah. You got to wait till the post-match, though, report system to come in.
True. But, we'll see. So. I think it's going to be either...
I think it's Yin because the other log post kind of hinted towards it. And then this one, this is the other time. This is the second time. I've never before heard them refer to the Paragon heroes as legacy heroes. right? And this is the second. This is the next hero's legacy hero, right? Yin is the only hero left, I believe, that was on the legacy map. The rest of them were mono.
This last time, and Zinx was a legacy hero.
I don't think Zinx was the legacy. I think she was monolith.
I have no fucking clue, dog.
I know you don't, and I know you don't, and I'm saying from my best memory, I believe she's a monolith hero.
I thought this came up last time we did Predcast, and I thought that we had a bunch
choice
of people
plays.
say that
Zinx
she
was monolith.
Legacy hero.
I think she was right before Terra, if I'm not
Seabass,
mistaken.
Zinx was monolith. So we got two so far saying Zinx is monolith. So, right. No,
I'm just going off of what I remember.
Right. So there are no more legacy heroes left. There is. Yin is a legacy hero. Fox, I've never heard them use legacy until the blog post announcing the hero for 0.20, and then now 1.0, and then this one announcing the hero.
Because Boris wasn't released. Was Wukong on legacy?
I don't think Wukong was.
Because if none of them were like on the legacy map, then that really stops any narrowing down of our answers.
Carol, chat's also saying Yin was monolith as well, so they're all monolith.
So if they're all monolith heroes, then we're back to square one.
Back to square one. I'm still going with Yin.
Which means Wukong is confirmed.
That is that. Yeah, they're all confirmed. All four of them are confirmed to be in the game. Just not at 1.0.
What if they drop all four of them? What if they bait this shit out?
That's what some people are saying. Some people are saying that the 1.0 are saying like, hey, 1.0 they all need to be the originals. They need to be in the game.
I don't think so.
First of all, dropping more than one hero.
It makes so many problems to drop.
Yeah, like drop 4 brand new heroes and give us 24/7 rank all in one day.
Well,
no, I'm talking about 4 new heroes on rank. You can only ban 1, 2 a total. Like you're gonna have 2 busted heroes guaranteed on that game. Like in that, that's what I'm saying.
Asking for that, wild. Like, I can understand 24/7 rank, sure, but it seems like, hey, we want 4 new heroes right away. You imagine the balance chaos going through that?
I'm not saying that 24/7 doesn't make sense.
Release. And it was kind of crazy. I know League did a couple of double releases like in their first year.
Yeah.
Like when their, when their roster was like 20 heroes, right? In like that first year they went to, like 35 or whatever. They did a couple double releases, but I don't know. That'd be crazy if we got multiple.
It's not gonna
None of the heroes left are like tied together. Like doing a multiple hero release would be kind of awkward. Like if it was like Wukong and Feng Mao, right? Aren't they like tied together in the lore or whatever? It kind of makes sense, but
yeah. So let me ask this question. You said tied together, and it made me think of this. So completely going off of that, let's go original heroes now. Something new, something we haven't seen before. I remember when I was playing the PlayStation MOBA of Genesis, there was a hero that it took up 2 players. So me and Pinzo could play as this one hero. Pinzo would control the car and I would control the shooting. Could you see something like that working with Predecessor? Why and why not?
Is it?
It's a hero in Dota. Is that
it's a Blizzard game? It's the Blizzard MOBA. It's Cho'Gall.
Yeah, he's
and
also
he
an orc.
Too. I used to watch some of that back in the day.
Yeah. There's one in HOTS and there's one in Dota that are the same thing. In Dota, the one is like, trying to think. One of the heads does magic and the other one does like physical, and you switch between them or something like that. But they're controlled by one person. Or by 2 people, I mean, like each half is controlled by one person, or by yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I think in a third person style, it's too hard. Top down is completely different.
Okay.
I think in a third person MOBA like Paragon or Pred or Smite, it would just be too confusing. It wouldn't be possible.
Yeah.
F6. You don't think it'd be possible to do a duel?
I think anything's possible. I mean, if they're good enough to implement it in a good way. But do we need that right now?
No, I'm not saying need. I'm asking, is that something you would see in the future? I'm talking about future heroes.
Future? Yeah. I can see it.
But
Yeah.
what do you do?
Like,
I don't know.
5v4.
I don't play.
How OP does that character have to be to make fighting a 5v4 sound fun?
I'm not saying it's like I said, it has to be implemented in a good way. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even feel like we should even be like even the thought of that.
It have to be the most broken hero in the game to make a 5v4 okay.
Or it could be the shittiest one and be like, this is the skill gap is too hard to play this character. It's
We
only
already
good in
have
like
4 of those. They're called Wraith and Revenant, dog. Like, people already can't play the heroes in this game.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. If people can't play it, then I was going to be OP. It's only going to be OP for like the 5%, you know?
I don't even know if it'd be OP for the 5%.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Seems like a balancing nightmare.
I mean, you
I
can
feel like-
get 2 kills off 1 Richter hook. Like, that sounds super easy, you know? Like,
I mean, skill issue. Look, all I'm saying is if they find a way to implement it correctly, like we said about all the heroes that they bring in, if they're able to balance it and make it a good character, I don't see a problem with it. I don't think it's not possible. I think they can, but please, for the love of God, don't start looking at that now. Yeah. I
Okay.
think it's cool.
Seabass asked a question. Other than patch notes, other than the patch notes or the blog posts, I think is what I'm talking about. What's something you all would add to the release, a 1.0 release? So something that's not in the blog post. What is something you would want to add to 1.0?
I think
give me
is it commendation system where like you can give a positive review to one of your teammates
Yes.
after a game if they do something cool. I think
Yeah.
that would be awesome for the toxicity in the game and just keeping a lot of the trash talk down.
There you go.
So if they incentivize it with either like XP or more, maybe platinum or amber, something like that.
I like that. I like that.
My entire time playing Pred, I've been in only 3 matches where I would do that. But I feel
you
that.
have them remember. You know
Yeah, I remember exactly who the players are too. Just like, yep, you're that guy. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think that would be cool. I mean, for me personally, I think just having a new replay system, that'll be my thing. I think replay system is just not optimized, and I think that should be one of their biggest features that comes by the end of the year.
So you think
it would
that's
be
something you want for 1.0?
Yeah.
That you would want to add to this release? Okay. Okay. Pinzo?
Mine would be in-game leaderboard. It'd be
Okay.
so nice to be able to see the top, 100, 200 players and be able to click through the leaderboard.
Also,
I like that.
think a stats page would be awesome. See
Like
how,
a real
an
profile page. Yeah.
Ooh, I like Choice's answer. True custom lobby.
That would be dude.
It'd be sick.
Yes, and another
B ones, shit like
an
that.
actual profile page where you can see your wins, losses, and stuff like that, your win percentage and stuff like that. Things you can actually see your personal stats on. There we go. That's what I would pick. That's one I pick. Oh, Clorox said that. There we go. In-game stats, profile page, relying on core for everything is wild. Yeah, no, I would love to see that. Pre-builds. Oh, that's another one. Pre-builds. There we go. Yep. These are all great things. All great quality of life changes.
Simple that they could add. Just let me look at my rank while I'm in queue.
Yeah.
What the hell I need to get in this match.
Don't have to cancel queue, just look at it and go back in.
Anytime if I'm
Yeah.
not the party leader.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, I'm not asking. If you just put that in there, I'll be fine. You know what? Everything else could just go on the back burner, in my opinion.
Right?
I'm like, oh, how far did I drop today? And I go to click the thing, and it's like, oh, I gotta leave my party to check my rank real quick. 1 sec, I'll be right back.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think this is a good direction that they're moving in. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, we're still missing a bunch of stuff, because we all know there's still a lot of stuff missing, and I don't feel like there's ever going to be everything there.
We will never be satisfied.
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
Consumer is never satisfied.
I don't think we ever will
mouse
be
a cookie,
satisfied.
man.
But I do think if they keep heading in this direction, I think we'll get there sooner than the past 2 years.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that statement. A good statement. All right, let's start doing our closing remarks here. We'll go in the order that we introduce ourselves. So we'll go Dirk, Pinzo, F6, myself. So tell, again, say who you are, where they can find you, and then a little, either to the devs or to the community, little words of wisdom.
Cool. Yeah. I'm Dirk 312 Forge. Call me Jake. I don't stream or post content. I'd like to get into it, but just an old Paragon player who's passionate about Predecessor, and I just want to see this game succeed. And I guess a message to the devs: keep it up. You get a lot of negativity, but there are people who appreciate all the hard work that everyone's doing, and it's awesome that I get to play my favorite game again.
There you go.
I'm Pinzo. You guys can catch me at Pinzo on all my socials. You guys can catch me on Predcast. You can catch me here on Twitch every day, pretty much. You guys can see YouTube every day. I play Pred a lot, too much, probably. But here we are.
300K Ember? Yeah, I'd say you play too much, probably.
I've only got like 3,000 hours.
Yeah.
on my main account.
On my main
Imagine having an alt account, you bot.
I played 2 PCCs on my alt account actually, because I had to, because I was at a friend's house. I had to play on his setup.
That's his excuse why he lost.
I'm pretty sure we did way better in those 2 PCCs than I have since then.
I will say Pinzo was doing work this PCC.
I was gaming. I'm not gonna lie.
He was gaming. His team kind of sold a little bit, but Pinzo himself,
he probably wouldn't have won the whole thing if his game that the Muriel offlane didn't get canceled and reset.
Get reset, we win. We actually make finals if our game doesn't get reset.
I don't know what you're talking about. We looked at the VODs. The game that we broadcasted never got reset, so I can't tell you.
What you talking about, Willis?
What, dude? I watched the VOD and it got reset on live.
Watch it again in about an hour.
In about an hour. Give me some time. Watch it again.
Cut that out really quick.
Mandela effect. It was never there.
I'm F6. I just started back on my pred train. We took our break hiatus. We'll be playing some rank tomorrow as well. We're trying to make our way out of gold since we took a break. We left off at gold 3. Today we ended at gold 1. We'll see what we end up with tomorrow. But yeah, I don't make YouTube video that much. If you guys want, one day I probably will. Whenever Pinzo's like, you'll make a video or something. But you catch me at PCC.
Make a video or something.
I got you, bro. Tomorrow it's gonna be uploaded. Yeah, I cast as well. You see me over at the PCC whenever we are doing PCC stuff. Next thing is going to be in October, but you can also catch me on Nations League coming up in August at the end of the month, I believe. Early September, then Fang Booth after that, and then back over to our cycle to PCC. So we've got a lot of tournaments coming up. Should be casting, should be available. Other than that, yeah, catch me on PREDCAST whenever we got some more information for you. Hopefully we do have a lot more information for you guys in the next 2 weeks, so be dope.
Yes. All right. Real quick, Dirk, Jake, great having you. I'd love to see the community out here playing and loving the game, wanting to come on here and talk about it, even though you're not a content creator by any means. Like, it's still great to see that. So love to have you here. Pinzo F6, I always love having you guys here. I love getting into it with you and you two. As me as a bronzer, I like to argue against you guys because you guys don't know it all.
But it's important to have multiple point of views in a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right in the middle of you guys.
I'm here in the crowd. I know what we're thinking. You guys are out there up front. You don't know what's happening back here, okay? I'm here to let you know what's happening. So, but no. As for myself, you guys can find me at my Twitter is T_B_Wolverine. But Mondays and Thursdays are my college football days. Those are the days you'll see Pinzo in my chat watching how to actually play football and learning how to play the game. So I play college football Mondays and Thursdays.
Really good at fantasy football.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Good job. That's awesome. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my predecessor days. So predecessor ranked on Tuesdays, and then predecessor ranked on Wednesdays. Unless we have content, we can give you a podcast like here we are today. I am climbing. I'm no longer a bronzer, even though Pinzo calls me a bronzer. I am a silver guy now. And my rank proves it, right? And it's not a Metasid.City rank.
My rhetoric for next time.
So, but other than that, we do appreciate you all coming here, hanging out, and we appreciate Smokey coming in here and giving us information. And I see Purple Swan in here as well. Appreciate all the devs coming here and talking to us, giving us information. And we do know that Ace, he's sleeping right now, but he's gonna wake up and he's gonna watch this and he's gonna get some feedback off of it. So appreciate all the devs getting the information from there. Community wise, I know a lot of you guys need to learn how to control your expectations when it comes to this blog post, and that's why they did this blog post, and I'm happy they did that because it was to help control your expectations. If 1.0 would have dropped without this blog post, there would be instant like pitchforks and fire. This is not what we needed. This is to kind of help control those fires and to set those expectations. And I think that we need to, as a community, to dial that down a little bit and understand and let them cook is what the young kids say. I believe, me as a boomer, trying to get into this terminology, and let them go from there. So, but on that note, we appreciate you all, and we will see you on the next one, whether that be next week or 2 weeks from now, whenever we get more content that we can go. That will probably be Wednesday of whatever that time that drops. So if they drop it on Wednesday night, it'll be the next Wednesday. If they drop it on Tuesday like they did this one, Wednesday morning after they dropped it, so we were able to make it work. But if they drop it on Tuesday, we'll get it on Wednesday, that Wednesday show. Other than that, appreciate you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.